Welcome to the She Drives Me Crazy podcast. I'm your host, Alabama, where we talk life, love, and everything in between. And today it's love, life, and law with Kirby Farris. So I'm really excited for you today, Kirby Farris. And I'm going to give a little background of you.
Sure.
So if I miss something or if I'm wrong, correct me. But
Okay.
You're the managing partner of Farris Riley Injury Law.
That's right.
You have over 20 years experience with victims of personal injury, wrongful death, and railroad worker injuries.
Yes, 30 now.
30
Gosh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's leave it at 20.
Yeah, we'll leave it at 20.
Thanks.
And you also co-host the legal TV show Law Call every Sunday on WBRC.
That's right.
Good, I'm excited. We're excited to have you, so
Well,
thank you.
it's great to be here. I'm a little nervous because I've never done anything like this.
Really?
before. No, I've done a lot of TV and radio and stuff, but talking about this subject matter is real foreign to me. So I'm
You'll
excited.
do great. So I do want to talk about, we're going to get into your love story with your wife.
Sure.
And talk about your personal story and then some love advice. But then there's legal stuff. As I was prepping for today,
Right.
I didn't realize there's a lot of legal questions that come along with injuries from spouses that people don't
Yes.
think about.
True.
So we'll get to that. But I want to hear about how you met Tammy, which, by the way, I've met Tammy a few years ago at Rock the South, your wife.
Yeah.
She is beautiful. She is amazing. She makes jam. You bring it into our studio. So I love her. She's a great woman.
Amazing. She is an amazing woman.
How'd
Yes.
you meet?
So we met in undergraduate school.
Okay.
And we had sort of a group of friends, and she was dating someone else. I was dating someone else, but that group of friends stayed in touch over the years.
Were you waiting on the sidelines for them to break up? When you met her, did you know that there was an attraction?
100%. Yeah. When I met her, it was like, this person's special. And the more I was around her, that even intensified. It was like, we would all be out or we would all be at a party, and I would always gravitate towards having conversation with her because she was really special.
So and you had a girlfriend at the time too.
Yeah.
So when that relationship ended and Tammy's relationship ended, who made the first move? How'd you hit
So
on?
we ended up marrying different people, and those relationships didn't work out. And one day she called me with a legal question.
Oh, I love this. I love this. What was the legal question?
She was walking her dog, and unfortunately there was a lady who was walking her dog on the other side of the street, and Tammy's dog was sort of a large dog, and it saw the small dog, and it went running after it and knocked the lady down and injured her.
Okay.
So Tammy was like, am I in real trouble here? And I was like, yeah, you are.
Did you get her out of the
I
trouble?
did. It all worked out fine. But that started a conversation that never ended.
How long have you and Tammy been married now?
Almost 25 years.
When did you know that she was the one? Like, what was it? What was it that made you think, okay, this is who I want to get married? I'm going to ask her. I'm going to pop the question.
Well, that's a great question. So we began talking about her case, and then we would just talk.
Yeah.
And we literally got to the point, she was living in Florida at the time, and we got to the point that we were talking hours a day. Like I would call her at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and we would talk for hours.
I love that.
And then there was a point in time when I just looked at myself and said, this is the best person I've ever known.
Yeah.
On every possible level, this is the best person I've ever met in my life.
What'd you do? Did you say, okay, I want to figure this out, come move to Alabama from Florida? Did you make her move here from Florida?
Didn't make her, but because
Wooed her in.
because of my law practice.
Right.
It just made more sense for her to come here. Yeah.
How did you propose?
Well, the first thing that happened is I said to her, do you know how you feel about me? And she said, well, yeah. And I said, well, how? She said, you started this conversation. You go first.
I love this.
So I was like, well, I'm in love with you. And she said, so am I. So she was here visiting one weekend, and I thought about all of these things, right? All these ways of doing it, romantic ways and all this.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I decided that we were sitting at my house, and I got down on one knee and said, this is where we're going to live the rest of our lives, so I think it's appropriate that this is where we started. And so I proposed, and thank God for me, she has great taste in everything but men, and she said yes.
She said yes. I love this story. Thanks for talking about love, because I know a lot of men don't like to talk about love and the sappy stuff, but I think that everybody goes through these moments in their life, and they're big moments in their life, and it shouldn't be something to be shy or bashful about. Yeah. So thank you for...
It's not easy.
Well, I love it. It's not easy. How do you balance, though, now, because you do have a law practice, mm-hmm. How do you balance, now that you're married, your career with your marriage?
You know, that takes, especially with what I do.
Yeah.
Because it's long hours, you're out of town, you're in trials, it can be very stressful. And Tammy has a fantastic work ethic. Mm-hmm. So she actually, rather than being adverse to me working hard, was really in support of it.
Yeah.
And she always said to me, when I would apologize for working long hours, she would say, look around. Everything that our family has, everything that is positive in our lives from a financial perspective emanate from you working hard. And
right.
So she was very, very understanding of it.
I do think, and maybe you can give me your opinion on this, finding a supportive partner probably goes a very long way versus somebody who would be anxious and, oh, you're gone too much, I don't like this. It probably felt like relief.
Your worlds have to merge, right?
Yeah.
And and there's going to be conflict when anybody's worlds emerge like that, but a lot of understanding, right? Mm-hmm. And I like this passage, whether you're a person of faith or not, but in Ephesians, it describes the way a relationship should be between a man and a woman. It says that husbands should love their wives like Christ loved the church.
Yes.
And Christ loves the church unconditionally, right?
Yeah.
And unconditionally is a high bar, but I think we should strive to love our spouses unconditionally with a lot of grace.
Well, and I think too, and maybe you can speak more to this, because you're picking the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. This is going to be your life partner, and how important do you think the process of deciding the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with so that you can love them unconditionally, how important that is?
Oh, man. I mean, it's the biggest decision you're ever going to make, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, I think that taking your time, mm-hmm. really understanding the person you know, and I was lucky because I had known her since I was 18 years old.
Yeah. So
I was very fortunate in that regard. But, I think a lot of prayer helps, right?
Yeah.
Because God won't misdirect you.
Yeah.
So a lot of prayer, a lot of understanding, and a lot of really getting to know each other. A lot of those hours and hours of conversation that we had on the phone, because we weren't physically together, geographically in the same place, were so valuable to our relationship, I think. So talk. When
you pray about it, like say you're giving advice. I know you have a son. Do you have more kids than your son?
We had 3 children. We lost one. So we have 2 children now.
When you, like if you were speaking to your son and you were giving them advice on discernment for picking the right partner, and you say pray on it, what were some things that you would pray about to look for or to know, or what was that like? I think the first thing that I prayed for was humbling of spirit, because that's something I have to pray for a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm hard-headed and I want to do my own thing, and every time I do that, I ended up, what's the old saying, man plans and God laughs, right? Yeah.
I'm a walking example of that so many times. So praying for understanding, praying for grace, and just opening your heart and mind up to God, allowing the message to come to you.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. It sounds so simple, right? But
trying to
hard.
be open and just and like you said, man plans, and then God
Laughs.
Yeah, like it is just being open and letting it come to you, because I think we all do that. I do that, so I agree. Speaking of being hard-headed, were there any moments with you and Tammy where you thought, oh man, I messed this up, what do I do, and how'd you get through it?
Wow, there have been. Because I am hard-headed, most of those events have been on my shoulders. The one thing that we have always done is had very, very open communications. Never raising your voice. Listen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Another one that's difficult for me as a lawyer, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, and we've had some very significant bumps in the road. And we lost a son. We've both lost our parents since we've been together.
Yeah.
Understanding one another and understanding the way you grieve.
Yeah.
And also giving each other a chance to grieve and being strong for each other when the other does have those moments is incredible.
How did you navigate? Because I can imagine there is the grief together, and then there's the grief separate. How did you even begin to navigate that?
You know, there's just no handbook for losing a child. It just doesn't exist. But first, your faith gets you through. The second is you never are over it. That just doesn't happen.
Right.
But you deal with it, and you learn to lean on God and lean on each other. And again, you give each other space, but at the same time, when one partner or the other is wrestling with it, recognizing it, and being strong for your spouse in that moment is really, really important. And I'll tell you this, friends and family too, when you have those bumps in the road, are incredibly valuable. The messages that I got from people very important to me really helped. So,
were there any specific moments or examples that you can think of, and if you can't, that's fine, that maybe you were struggling, and it could be the grief with your son, or it could be any other moments where Tammy did maybe you may not have known that you needed her to do that thing in the moment, and she did something, or that you were like, I don't know how I would have gotten through this if you wouldn't have been here. Can you think of any specific?
Yeah, one of the most remarkable things that I've ever seen anybody do. Mm-hmm. Months after our son's death, I came home and from work, and she was sitting at the dining room table, and said, "Hey, I want to talk about something for a second." And I said, "Sure." And I sat down, and she said, I think we should consider, let's stop grieving and start healing. And she said, I've been thinking about it, and I've been praying about it, and what's on my heart is, let's stop grieving and start healing, and let's not let this define us. And I'd never heard anything so profound in my entire life.
Yeah.
So it was a conscious effort to, okay, we're moving from grieving to healing, and let's start thinking about the positive things and the beautiful things that were in our lives and were part of our lives when our son was still alive.
She grabbed your hand and said, "Let's go," and pulled you out of it. That's going to tear me up.
She said, it's time to have a good life. Let's not let it get away.
Yeah. That's a God thing, whatever you believe in thing. That was a divine moment, I think, for her to pull you out of that.
It's tough living with someone smarter and more spiritually available. And just when you live with a better person than you, it's hard.
Yeah. God.
But yeah, that was a very special moment.
Do you think for you, being a lawyer, with all the skills you've learned, that it has helped you communicate better with Tammy or even argue better? Do you lawyer Tammy? Does she get mad and say, stop doing that?
No lawyering. No, that is off. Someone told me a long time ago, being a lawyer is not what you do, it's who you are.
Yeah.
It becomes who you are. And so I don't know that you can escape being a lawyer. An example of that is anytime Tammy and I are working on a project together, I'm doing all the safety stuff and getting the safety glasses and tying off the ladders and all that. She calls me Mr. OSHA. She says, because of what you do, you're Mr. OSHA.
Oh, yeah.
So we've learned to just sort of incorporate it and laugh about it.
Oh, gosh, because you're a personal injury lawyer, so you've seen all the ways people get injured.
Correct.
Are you trying to safety the house so that Tammy doesn't get hurt?
100%.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I saw her the other day. She was down in our boathouse. She was getting up in a chair to clean some windows. I was like, stop that. Get a ladder. What are you doing? She's like, yes, Mr. OSHA, we'll get a ladder.
So that was one of the questions I have, because you've seen people go through some of the most life-changing events in their lives and injuries, and does that change the way you love your people? So that's one of the ways.
I mean, it does. You worry more. You've seen families suffer loss, and you just don't want to see your family go through that.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the best relationship advice that you have ever been given?
Maybe this, that normal is a setting on a dryer.
Yeah.
There's no normal. You've got to incorporate everything that's wonderful and beautiful and quirky about your spouse and about your relationship, and you've got to build a happy and joyous world around all those things, right? And I think every relationship is very, very unique, and it has to be your own.
Yep.
And then you treasure it.
Yeah.
Protect it.
There's no handbook.
None.
I love that. From a legal standpoint, because you have seen so many people go through injuries or even loss of life, what are things that people who are either getting married or couples that live together that are not married should think about? Because I think there's so many scenarios that could happen that you don't even know.
I look at that question kind of from two different perspectives, one practically and one interpersonally. So practically, protect your family, get life insurance, make sure you have health care insurance, make sure your auto insurance is adequate to take care of you if you get hurt, all those practical things. From an interpersonal perspective, don't get too caught up in life. I've been guilty of it most of my life. Make sure that you enjoy every second, and make sure you make time to create interactions with your family and people that you love, which I have not always done a great job of. It's all limited. It's all going to be limited.
Right.
Some more than others. I finish every conversation with my wife and my children and my brothers with "I love you." Every conversation, because I want the last thing that I ever say to my kids or my wife or my brothers, I want those last words to be "I love you."
Absolutely. Kirby, thank you. This was a great episode. Thank you so
Enjoyed
much.
it.
If you want to follow along, She Drives Me Crazy podcast, follow Farris Riley Injury Law. And if you ever need an injury lawyer, honestly, I tell people all the time, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, from getting to know you over the years and speaking to you, you really are the only person I would trust with something that could be so tough as a major accident or a major life change. So seriously, if you need a lawyer, call Kirby, because we love him. And thank you for being
Alabama,
here.
I appreciate your friendship so much. Thank you.
Thank you.